Number 314, Irrational Karma. And number 2380, Mac Daddy. This is a very special game sponsored by the Accounting Doctor. At the Accounting Doctor, our mission is clear: to help individuals and business owners take control of their financial health, starting with taxes. This one is going to be very special. We've got a bunch of skaters from a bunch of teams. We've got skaters playing in their first game ever, some skaters coming back from a long break, coming back from an injury. I'm excited to see this mashup of a whole bunch of crews joining together and just having a good time on the track. Team Green has made their way to the track, and Red has followed suit. Looks like Green has fielded Riven Mayhem, number 312. And Red has put out number 840, Smash. And they're off. Working on the pack. Red's keeping it tight on the outside line, recycling back Riven. Small tumble, but we're back up and at it. Smash is smashing through the pack as best they can. Riven tries to find a hole on the inside line, but it was not happening. They've been recycled back as well, but coming back around, see what they can do. I don't think 840 is. Both jammers working hard to try to establish lead. Two rock-solid tripods right now. Looks like red team's coming with some offensive assists. See if they can make that work. With 50 seconds left, we still do not have a lead jammer. These guys are working hard, though. All right, and number 840 for the Red Chile team makes it through. And Green is right behind them. Both packs are moving, trying to keep those points away from these jammers. Smash is back and ready to smash. Riven Mayhem bobbing and weaving their way through the pack as well. And it looks like Riven has made it through for 4 points. Smash at the back of the pack trying to put in some work, and they call it with 1 second to go. Incredible jam from these guys, a full 2 minutes. Looks like Green Chile with 4 points, locking it down. Nothing for red that round. All right, it's Wet Noodle, number 24 for the Green Chile team. And 4-2 for Meow Pow. That's right, we got 4-2, 2-4. That's not confusing. All right, looks like Wet Noodle is through. We've got our lead jammer. And although they took the hat off, our jammer for red is still Meow Pow. They're coming back around. And it looks like Wet Noodle calls it before Meow Pow can get any points. Noodle took 3 on that round, bringing the score 7-3. 3 for Red Chile, 7 for Green Chile. Old Bay and Captain Physicist take the lowrider jammer line. They're off, and Old Bay with a big old hit to the Physicist. Oh, but he's juking. He moves around. He's through. We have our lead jammer, Captain Physicist. Old Bay is through as well. Physicist glides through on that inside line for 4 points. Old Bay is back with the pack, and they find their way through on the outside lane, through for another 4 for green. The Physicist threw as well on that outside line for another 4. And the Physicist calls it off. Red Chile scoring 8 points that jam, and Green Chile with 4. We've got a tied score. Smashes back out for Red Chile, and we have number 242 Talons and Spice for Green Chile. Both now fully engaged with this pack. It's spread out a bit, and Smashes found their way at the front. A little this and that, and they've made their way through. We have a lead jammer. Looks like a directional penalty for Red Chile. They're down to 3 blockers as Smash makes their way back to the pack. Talons and Spice still working on their initial pass, and they made it on the inside line. They passed the star. We have a new jammer for Green Chile, number 312, Raven Mayhem. Smash calls it, but not before Red Chile can grab another 4 points. All right, our score as it stands, Red Chile with 15 points, Green Chile with 11. Red's now in the lead. We've got Meow Pow, number 42, jamming for Red Chile, and 314 for Green Chile. Karma's trying to work on this red tripod as Meow Pow makes their way to the front of the pack, pushing it out, seeing if they can stretch that pack out. Looks like it worked, and they're out as our lead jammer. We've got a directional penalty for a Red Chile blocker. And Irrational Karma makes their initial pass. Meow Pow is trying to get some points before Karma can make their way. And they do. They do a little spin on the inside lane, and they call it. They don't call it. Pardon. That red tripod's making Karma work for their points here as they seam up and keep them held back. Meow Pow makes it through. They call the jam. Looks like that was an 8-point jam for Red Chile, a 4-point jam for Green Chile, bringing our score Red Chile 23, Green Chile 15. Captain Physicist and Talons and Spice are back on the lowrider jammer line. Red has 3 jammers versus Green Chile's 4. Nope, Green Chile has one in the box as well. Even. Oh, small spill from the Physicist, but he's back up. Looks like Talon is Talon making their way around. The Physicist calls the jam. That was a 0-0 jam that last round. We've got Smash back on the line, Riven Mayhem back on the line. And they're off. Riven following Old Bay, seeing if they can make a hole for them. Penalty for Green Chile. They've got one blocker in the box. Red Chile's fourth blocker is back on the track, bringing them to full force. Riven Mayhem, our lead jammer, coming back around, looking for points. Big impact to that red wall. Looks like Old Bay is recycling Smash, bringing them to the back of the pack. Green is all tripoded up. Smashes through as our lead jammer. No. See, I thought the same. No, Smashes made their initial, but you know, sometimes it's confusing. Sometimes you're like, wait, am I lead? No? Oh, okay. Green Chile taking 3 points on that jam, bringing our new score 23 for red, 18 for green. Still anybody's game. Looks like 2-4-4-2 Jaybird jamming for green for the first time this game, and number 1117 Salty also making their jamming debut for the game. Number 2-3 with a hit on the outside line, recycling Jaybird back. Doing some impressive one-on-one blocking, trying to keep the bird at bay. A small tumble and the bird is through, looking for a hole on the fourth line, but red has met them. Salty with a small spill, but they're back up and at it. Jaybird is our lead jammer for this jam. They're coming back around as Salty keeps working on that green wall. Both jammers working hard, and Salty finds a hole on the fourth lane. They're through. And Jaybird calls the jam before Salty can grab any points. Incredible jamming debut for both of these guys. Green Chile racked up 4 points that round, tightening the gap. Red Chile with 23, Green Chile with 22. Looks like Noodle is noodling it out, getting ready for this next jam. The physicist is also ready on that lowrider jammer line. The physicist is through as our lead jammer, but Wet Noodle is tracking them down. They're both moving fast. The pack is keeping their points away from these jammers as they come around on the second corner. A small spill from the physicist, and Wet Noodle has made their way to the front of the pack. Red trying to keep them at bay, but the Noodle is through. 4 points for Noodle, 4 points for the physicist, and they call it. Keeping that 1 point gap, Red Chile with 27, Green Chile with 26. We've got a team timeout, so it's time to make some shout outs. Shout out to Salud for keeping our skaters, officials, and volunteers hydrated with electrolyte packets. Derby in New Mexico, we need the electrolytes. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with the way that these new skaters who have not really practiced with each other are coming together and showing some incredible teamwork out here on the track. We've got Meow Pow jamming for Red Chile and Old Bay jamming for Green Chile. They're both off. Green Bay sneaking out on the right, and Meow Pow sneaking through on the in. They're both running each other down. Old Bay with a little love tap, but they both go down. Meow Pow gets up first, gets on the track, and Old Bay is back at it, chasing them down again. Green Chili is back to full force with all 4 jammers, while Red has 2 in the box. Meow Pow calls the jam, but not before Old Bay takes it away with 3 points. Looks like we have a lead change. Green Chili is in the lead now with 29. Red Chili with 28. We still got that 1-point gap. Jaybird and Salty jamming again. Salty really working those lines, bobbing and weaving back and forth. Jaybird has made their way to the front of the pack, but that red wall is not making it easy. Green's got a rock-solid tripod as well, keeping Salty at bay. Ooh, and it's a penalty for Green Chili's jammer, making this a power jam for Salty. Red has 1 in the box, but this is still their power jam. Let's see what they can do. Salty pushing with all their might, seeing if they can push through that pack, but nudged out on the inside line, trying the middle. Green Chili's jammer is back on the track. And now both jammers are at it again, pushing and trying to see about getting their way through. Smash is out of the penalty box and back to join their team. Rocket and Quake doing some blocking. We've got a third red blocker, but they've stretched the pack too far. Out of play. And another jammer penalty for Green Chili's Jaybird. Salty is still putting in some work on the track, trying to capitalize on this power jam they found themselves in. Red with a blocker penalty. Looks like Rockets making their way over to the penalty box. Salty still working extremely hard, but the jam is called after 2 hard-fought minutes. What incredible effort from both of these teams. It really does take everything to work as hard as you can for those 2 minutes. Number 913, Captain Physicist, is out for Red, while Green Chili's jammer is in the box. Physicist pows through, and a small tumble does not keep them down for long. They're out and about. Looks like a no pass, no penalty perhaps, and they don't have lead, although they've made their way through the pack. Jaybird is out and about as Green Chili's jammer. Physicist has gathered 4 points as they make their way around. Ooh, Jaybird knocked out on the outside line, but they're up, recycled back. Physicist with another 4, and Jaybird is digging deep and keeping the effort up. Another penalty for Jaybird. It is brutal out there. They make their way back to the penalty box. Physicist knocked out on the inside line, getting recycled back. They found themselves in another power jam. And Physicist is going to the box, meaning Jaybird will be set free to fly spread their wings and fly. The bird is back and are ready to make up for lost time. Knocked out on the outside line and recycled back. Jaybird is fighting and fighting, looking for holes, and they have passed the star to their teammate number 312. But the jam gets called. That one was wild. Red Chile has 40 points. Green Chile has 29 points. Red Chile has spread that gap out, but don't knock out Green Chile. Anything could happen. The Noodle and Smash are both on the lowrider jammer line, gearing up. And they're off. Ooh, one big hit. Old Bay knocks Smash out on the outside line. They're back on the track. And Wet Noodle has claimed lead. Jammer making their way back to initiate with the pack. 3-2-3 holding them back, working on a little one-on-one blocking till reforming with their team. The Noodle finds a hole and they take it. The Noodle is through for 4 points. Looks like a star pass to Southern Hell, and Southern Hell is our new jammer for Red Chile, chasing down the Wet Noodle. And it is called before Red Chile can take any points that jam. Green Chile with 4. Looks like Red Chile keeps the lead with 40 points, while Green Chile closes the gap, bringing them to 37. Looks like we're on a team timeout. Just wanted to remind you all that we have vendors down the hallway. We've got Rumble on the Rio merch. We've got all of the teams participating in this tournament selling merch as well. We also have our own skaters from 2 different teams. Author of Pain is selling their books out in the hallway, and Demolition Doll from Albuquerque Roller Derby has handmade prints out for sale as well. Please go give them a visit and show them some love. Looks like the team timeout is over and both teams make their way back onto the track. Looks like Meow Pow and Talons and Spice jamming for red and green respectively. They're off. Both jammers working hard, trying to push their way, find some holes in these tripods, but neither team is giving much. Bam with a little booty bump to the outside lane. And Talons and Spices recycled back by the red tripod as well. Red working to drop some bridges, keep everything legal, but it looks like Talons has spread out the pack enough to run away with lead jammer status. Big impact by Talons and Spice. A little dog pile, but everybody's up. Looks like a penalty for Talons and Spice, sending them to the box, making this a power jam for Meow Pow. Red team trying to offer some offensive assistance, and it works. Meow Pow is through. Throwing back on that jammer cap so they can get some points. Both teams getting ready to see how they're going to handle Meow Pow's new power. Incredible line work on the outside and then skirting back into the middle lane to get through the pack. 4 points for Meow Pow. White's jammer is back on the track, and Meow Pow is initiating with the pack again. Talons with a little apex jump makes their way through, and Meow Pow is knocked out on the inside line, recycled back by Bamwich. A very purposeful and performative knee slide by Talons for the crowd. Incredible effort out there, you guys. Looks like Red Chili ran away with 7 points that jam. Green Chili with 4, bringing our new score 47 Red, 41 Green. And that is the score at the first half. Well done, Green Chili. Well done, Red Chili. Can't wait to see you back in 15 minutes. which we just announced the winners to. So thank you from them. All right, green takes the track once again. Just a reminder, the score as it stands, red Chile with 47 points, green Chile with 41 points. Belle of the Brawl is jamming for red, and Riven Mayhem is jamming for green. Oh, and a green-red kiss, did I see? Wow, romantic. Oh my god. Five seconds to the next jam. All of our guys are locked and loaded. The pack is staying tight here, staying on the jammer line while both jammers push and try to see if they can find any holes to squeak through. Riven working that outside lane, finds just enough space to tiptoe through, and they are our lead jammer. Rolling into the second turn, Belle of the Brawl still working to fight through and get their initial pass. 2-3 from red, recycling them back. A little one-on-one blocking before reforming with their tripod. Small tumble and perhaps enough chaos to get Belle of the Ball through on their initial pass. Riven Mayhem also making their way back around. Riven with a small fall calls the jam before Belle of the Brawl can make it back to the pack. And if my eyeballs work, I believe I'm looking at a tied score. Green Chile picking up 6 points that jam, brought the score 47-47. Both teams are winning. Number 913 Captain Physicist and 314 Irrational Karma both jamming once again. The Physicist is working on that front green wall while they have one in the box. Looks like Not Sorry trying to push their way out on the inside lane, but Irrational Karma is through, tiptoeing on the inside line. Green has their fourth blocker back with them, bringing them to full force as both jammers make their way around looking for some points. Karma makes impact with the wall. And it looks like just in time to stop the physicist from stealing any points. Looks like Green has taken the lead with 4 points. They now have 51 points. Red Chile at 47. Big hugs on the lowrider jammer line. Old Bay and Southern Hell gearing up. Ooh, some fancy footwork from Southern Hell. Unfortunately, was not legally very fancy as they are on their way to the penalty box. Old Bay has a power jam. Using a combo of agility and strength to make their way through this pack, pushing and fighting a dynamic duo from the Red Chile blockers has pushed them out on the outside line. Old Bay calls the jam, but they were not lead. So that will make this a 2-minute jam. One more blocker from Red in the box. Old Bay, small fall, back up. Everybody's kind of chilling, taking a breath. And Old Bay is back. They're ready to get that 4th point. It's a panty pass. Number 2517 for Green is our new jammer, Mia Wallops, coming around the bend, seeing about scoring some points. Red team with all their jammers also passes the star, giving it to 1117 Salty. With 15 seconds left, Mia Wallops trying to get their points before the jam ends. Staying strong, keeping that stamina up. Ooh, and a gorgeous tiptoe on the inside line. The jam is over after 2 minutes. And what a fight from everyone on the track that last jam. Looks like Red Chile's got 2 points out of that one. Green Chile with 4, bringing the score to 49 Red, 55 Green. Looks like Smash and Riven Mayhem are back on the lowrider jammer line. Got about 14 minutes left in this game. Anything could happen. Riven looks for a hole on the 4th line, but does not find it. Tries that inside line, but cuts the track in the process. They are on their way to the box. It's a power jam for Smash. Smash looking sturdy and strong as they push through that green tripod. We're going to stretch out that pack, see if they can push their way through. All teams are locked and loaded, ready for their next mission, while 2 dynamic duos from Green Chile working hard on Smash. And it's lead jammer for Smash after all that effort. They make their way through. And Green's jammer is back as well. Both jammers on the track working hard, seeing what they could do for their team. Looks like Red found their way to 2 points. It's a timeout called by Green Chile team. Our score as it stands, Red Chile with 51 points, Green Chile with 55 points. We're looking at a 4-point lead for Green Chile, and I wouldn't feel too safe about that. Huge shout out to Ramps and Alleys this weekend. Shop one of our Rumble on the Rio vendors. They're on site with derby gear, so swing by, browse, and show some love to a skate shop supporting our community. We just saw Ramps from Ramps and Alley playing for Courageous absolutely tear it up last game. Well done, Ramps. Timeout is over, and both teams make their way back onto the track. Captain Physicist and Jaybird are back on the line. Looks like 2 in the box for Green Chile, and the Physicist takes full advantage and busts through that small wall as our lead jammer. They're coming back around. Jaybird knocked out and recycled by number 2-3 from Red. The Physicist finds a hole on the 4th lane, and they're through for 4 points. Jaybird close on their heels, making their initial pass. Both blockers out of the box, reforming with Green, but not before the Physicist calls the jam. Taking their 4 points and going back to the bench. The score as it stands, Red Chile with 59 points, a lead change, and Green Chile with 55 points. Red's got 1 in the box, so it's looking like a 3 versus 4 blocker dynamic here. Talons and Spice and Salty are back on the line. A big knock on the outside lane, but Salty is up and at it again. Talons knocked out on the inside lane. Rocket takes them back, holding them back until reforming with their tripod. Looks like Salty was recycled back as well. Full pack is still between the jammer and the pivot line, making it hard for these jammers. Salty finds a hole and they take it. But a track penalty is called, sending Salty to the box, making this a power jam for Green. Talons, not the lead, but the only jammer on the track. We're going to look like it's going to be another 2-minute jam for these Bad Larrys, and they're working hard out there. Talons pushing, seeing what they can get done in the 30 seconds they have for this power jam, but recycled back. Red wall focused on the task at hand, keeping a strong defensive wall up, and Talons knocked out on the inside line. Green Chile's jammer is back in action. A lot of bonking there on the track, trying to create some chaos while Talons is still looking for some points. Tries to take a shirt whip. It gets a little messy on the outside line. Huge shout out to Jen and Jupe Productions for their support of Rumble on the Rio this year. Join their Firmunity at jenandjupe.com.
I can do anything except what I'm saying. You're doing amazing, by the way. Keeping up some nice pattern.
That's the end of the official timeout, and we are back on the track, ready to rumble on the Rio. Irrational Karma is jamming for the Green Chili team, while I believe Salty is still in the box. Karma working with the time they've got, but Salty is back and ready to go. Knocked out a bit on the outside, but back in pretty swiftly. Both jammers working hard, but this pack is looking extremely tight. It's not leaving a bunch of wiggle room for either one. Looks like Green's tripod is completely locked down. Salty is fighting tooth and nail to find any avenue. Both teams pushing on that second corner, but the defense is formidable. Carmel pushed out on the outside line and recycled back. They're back and through. Irrational Karma is our lead jammer. Salty still working on that second turn. Both teams once again at a bit of a stalemate on this second turn. Ooh! And Karma finds a sweet spot on that fourth lane and slides on through. They've got 4 points for Green Chili. Looks like a star pass for Red. And Cupcake Kamikaze is our new jammer for Red. Karma calls the jam is called. 1 point for Red Chili. That jam 7 for Green Chili, bringing our score Red Chili 60, Green Chili 66. Oh, the accounting doctor.
Okay, cool. I just hit it.
Time out called. Looks like Double Tap 915 making their jammer debut this game, and Jaybird back at it again. Red and green both looking locked and loaded. However, the timeout is still not happening, which means it's time for another jam. Both jammers are off, and Double Tap gets a bit of a push assist from their team, and they're through as our lead jammer. Jaybird booted out of the outside lane, gets recycled back, but they're back, and there's still that fight in them. Double Tap with their first 4 points of the game. Looks like the physicist was sent to the box. Red with 3 blockers, green with 4 blockers. Double Tap through for another 4, and Jaybird making their way around looking for points themselves. Ooh wee, some fancy dodging and weaving, and they're through for 4. Double tap, making their way back, looking for 4 more as well. And they get them. Jaybird coming around, but double tap calls it before they can grab any more points. Looks like double tap scored 12 big ones that last jam. Green Chile with 4, bringing the score as it stands to 72 red, 70 green. Belle of the Brawl is jamming for red, while 2517 is jamming for green. Mia Wallops starting it off with a bang and a big hit to their fellow jammer. The physicist trying to offer some offensive support to Belle, but Irrational Karma knocking them out on the inside, making it hard. Mia Wallops around as our lead jammer looking to score a few points. Looking for a hole on that inside line, but does not find it. Belle of the Brawl is back in action. The jam is called. It looks like Belle of the Brawl got 1 point. The score as it stands, red with 72, green with 71. We're looking at a 1-point game here, and with 4 minutes to go, I know both of these teams want to win. Looks like Smash is jamming for red, and Riven Mayhem for green finds a hole on the outside line and takes it. They are our lead jammer. Riven making their way around to score some points. Green has 1 in the box, meaning 3 blockers holding it down for now, trying to stop Smash. Riven coming around, 4 points for green. Smash knocked out on the outside lane, but back up and ready to keep fighting. Both teams with some incredible defense. Green's 4th jammer is back in action, knocks out Red's pivot. Smash still working on their initial pass. A bit of a tumble, but they're back up. A penalty is called on Smash, sending them to the box, making this a power jam for Riven. They're coming around. This is a high scoring point for Riven. Let's see what they can do with this power jam. Looks like another 4 for Riven. 18 seconds left in this jam. Riven is coming back around, and I bet they want 4 more. Red's jammer is out of the box and back on the track. The jam is over after 2 hard-fought minutes. What an incredible effort from Riven. 16 points that jam. Hot dog. Red Chile with 72 points. Green Chile takes the lead with 87 points, creating possibly the biggest gap we've seen so far this game. Jaybird and the physicists are back on the lowrider jammer line. And physicist tiptoeing on that outside line finds themselves as the lead jammer. Jaybird stretching out that pack, seeing if they can get away and fly free. Unfortunately recycled back by number 2-3 from Red. Green's 4th blocker is out of the box. Captain Physicist with another 4 points. And Physicist is knocked out on the outside line. Green pulls them back, recycles. Jaybird has made their initial pass after a bunch of hard work. They're on their way back, but Physicist calls it, denying them any points. Red rounds up 8 points, bringing the score 80 red, 87 green. And I believe we're looking at our last jam of the game. This one's gonna make or break either team. Looks like red is starting this final jam with 2 in the box. But that doesn't stop Piece of Quake from rolling through and grabbing lead jammer. The jam continues on until it doesn't.